continue to work remotely has prompted a lot of people to leave the sky-high rents and home prices of LA and Orange counties for the affordable mortgages in places like Fontana and the Inland Empire. Well, now that may be starting to wane and might be starting to backfire. Gina Silva went to the IE to look into the skyrocketing housing prices there.
One of my favorite things to make are pastries, cookies, breads.
Kamisha Comfort is a personal chef.
Good job, Ella.
Tiffany Jules is a photographer.
So my favorite thing about makeup artistry is definitely the eyes and the skin.
Nissier Palacio is a makeup artist. All three women are professionals in their fields who've lived in the Inland Empire for years. A vast SoCal region, they say, used to have a small town vibe and was affordable, but now not so much.
Everybody's telling me Inland Empire to move out because it's cheaper, and I'm like, not that much cheaper anymore.
I think at one point it was, probably when I was a child it was, but now I'd say the market is probably just as expensive as living in the LA area.
Some of the homes that they're starting to put on the market go upwards of $500,000 and further up.
Moving to the Inland Empire are people from LA, OC, and San Diego who are tired of renting and are looking for a better deal. Also, those people who've recently been told they can work from home.
You can work from home. So why am I renting?
Real estate agent Chris Taylor says the moving out of LA trend continues. And for many, the destination is the IE. But Taylor says people need to prepare for this red-hot real estate market.
It's a matter of supply and demand. All those people that are moving out here for affordability. So that's pushed everyone east.
The most affordable homes on the market in the Inland Empire are located in Adelanto, Victorville, and Hemet, ranging in prices from $341,000 to $473,000. If you're looking to buy in a community closer to Orange County or LA, it's going to cost a lot more.
Corona? Okay, but you're spending $600, probably more. The same goes for Riverside.
Jurupa Valley is a small city in the northwest corner of Riverside County. There are older homes mixed in with new housing developments. This 3,000 square foot house is selling for $625,000. But for those who love a backyard oasis, this isn't it.
There is no backyard.
That's the problem.
Not for the person who is buying it. This house is currently in escrow, and many other homes are also selling fast.
Many of the homes we looked at were breaching $1 million. For Jurupa Valley, that is crazy.
We're all fighting for the same properties, and as the demand is increasing, I mean, the supply is not that great either. It's a 2-bedroom.
Melissa Heckenleibel is looking to buy a home in Riverside County. The process hasn't been easy.
I know I've been disappointed where I've seen something towards the top, listed at the top of my price range, thinking I can get it, and then all of a sudden I can't because I know it's going to skyrocket above where I can pay.
Tiffany remembers a similar experience when she was looking for a place to live.
I went in for open house, and there was like 15 people there. I was like, how are my son and I going to get into this place? And I was like one of 150 applications.
As the population keeps growing in the Inland Empire, the cost of living keeps rising, and it's affecting low-income residents the most.
It's honestly sad when you hear, I grew up here, I was born and raised here, I can't buy anything here.
Another problem, the unbearable traffic for IE residents who have to commute to LA and Orange County for work.
It would take me about 2.5 hours to get out there for the area that I needed to get to, and coming back 3.5 to 4+ hours. So it's like it didn't necessarily, you can't really break even on that, and then the time that I spent away from my family would cause friction as well.
So what would you say is the most frustrating thing?
I wish it was a little bit of an easier commute or shorter distance, but you know, you have to do what you have to do at the end of the day.
Gina was good enough to jump up and get on camera with us to talk more about this. I heard that hit me in the soul, 3.5 hours to commute home. I mean, are a lot of people commuting back into LA or Orange County, or are they finding work out there that keeps them from having to do that?
Oh, Michaela, a lot of people, thousands. In fact, it's estimated that 150,000 people are what they call super commuters. They spend 2 hours going to work, another 2+, depending on the traffic. If there are accidents, you know, it takes a long time to get home. So there's very little time for family, little time for community involvement. And I'm told from like people who work in nonprofits, that hurts the community because they don't have the energy to fight for resources. They don't have the energy to fight for what's right. So it is a problem.
It takes an impact on your heart and your soul and your health, too. I mean, that takes years off your life sitting in that much traffic for that long. You spoke to a real estate agent there. I mean, is the general consensus that this is kind of here to stay, or do they expect to change?
You know, it's here to stay for now. For example, you know, it's still a hot market. Yeah. In the summer, it was crazy. Sure. So the difference now, it slowed down a little bit. So he was explaining that in the summer, there could have been 200 people fighting for one home. Good now it's dropped to about 150. So it's
really cooled off, Gina.
Yeah, it's not much. And it's the low interest rates.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to buy. And the demand is high, but the supply is so low. And so for people who are in OC and LA, the prices are ridiculous, right? They're very expensive homes. So even though the prices are high in the Inland Empire, they are still a little bit lower than they are in LA County.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. Okay, you have been doing a great series of reports from out there. What else have you got in the pipeline for us?
Well, we're taking a look at rent increases, and you know, it is shocking. We are talking to several people who are renters. And one example, to give you an idea how bad it is, a year ago, an apartment complex was the rent was $800.
Okay.
It is now, they're asking for $2,600. That is a huge spike. And this is for low income families. They cannot afford that kind of rent.
No, they can't.
It's a disaster. And a lot of folks are ending up homeless right now, looking for a place to live. And what's happening is they're having to move further east.
There's a huge conversation about homelessness, as we know, but I don't think there's enough conversation about affordable housing in our city and preventing people from falling into homelessness because of that lack of housing. I'm really glad you're doing these stories. This is really important stuff, Gina, and it's such a delight to have you with us so early in the morning. Hope you get a nap in before the rest of your day.
I'm going to try to take a nap, yes.
All right. Gina Silva, always a delight. Thanks so much.